Ladies and gentlemen, this story, we have another shooting, police involved shooting in the state of Colorado. Okay. Um, and this story comes from the Gazette. It happened in Colorado Springs. Now, here's what's been said, and it's been said that the Colorado Springs Police Department was claiming that it was a robbery call. They had a robbery call. And so they chased the suspect, who's a black man. I'm going to keep it 100. Chased the suspect. And guess what? They shot the suspect in the back. Shot a black man in the back. And it looks to me that he's unarmed. So we have another unarmed shooting. And this is really story is very disturbing. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. Again, this article comes from the Gazette. So I'm going to read this. It says, newly obtained surveillance video shows two white Colorado Springs police officers chase Devon Bailey, who's 19, as he runs, then falls after being shot. Bailey died later in a hospital, police says. Before the African-American youth was killed, the officer had been dispatched about 6:45 p.m. Mountain Time Saturday to report robbery on East Fountain Boulevard. When the officers contacted two men, police said one man reached for a weapon and at least one officer fired a shot. Now, this is what like I said, this is what the police reported, that one man reached for a weapon. But there's no evidence proving that they saw him with a weapon. I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this. This goes to show another unarmed black man being murdered, okay, by police. Now I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this. It says, on the video obtained from a camera at 2141 Presses Road near the shooting site, both officers appear to be white, and Bailey does not appear to have a weapon, according to experts who viewed the video. And I'm going to stop you right there. So the Colorado State Police has told the media that he saw someone with a weapon. And then you saw, on the surveillance video, there's no physical evidence proving that he has a weapon on him. So this is basically a very disturbing, and I'm going to go ahead and continue reading this. It says, the video shows both officers behind Bailey, guns pointed at him, which means that the two white officers pointed guns behind Bailey. And he said while he sits on the road, he was sitting on the road, and then seconds later, he rolls onto his stomach, and officers handcuffed him. So and then it says, about 40 seconds after the shooting, a third officer arrives, and police removing Bailey's clothes, they give him chest compressions. In a news release, police said Bailey reached for a gun, and then they later recover a firearm at the scene. Now, and then he said he is the seventh person shot by city police this year. 5 were killed. Now, we all know they're gonna give you a criminal pass with him, right? They're gonna give him this criminal pass, like we always do. When every time an unarmed black man been shot and killed, they're always gonna bring up his past. They said that Bailey was arrested on April 8th on suspicion of sexual assault on a child by a person in a position of trust. He pleaded not guilty July 29th. 5 days later, he was dead. Okay, they said the El Paso Sheriff's Office is investigating the shooting as is standard practice. The officers were wearing body cameras, but that video has not been released. I wonder why. It hasn't not been released yet. You notice that if they was wearing body cameras, they could automatically just show what happened that evening. But unfortunately, they even said that they not been released yet. And I don't understand why, but I'm gonna continue reading this. The sheriff's office did not return calls from the Gazette seeking comment on the surveillance video. The source of the surveillance video said he had given sheriff's investigators a copy of the video. Police said at least one shot was fired. Witnesses said they heard up to 7 shots. Okay. See, this is why I said that you need to read and listen what they said. That the police they say they shot the man 1 time, but witnesses say they shot the man 7 times. So they heard 7 shots. Okay, do you feel me? You get where I'm going with this? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish. It said John Burton, a 40-year lawyer and former board president of the National Police Accountability Project, watched the video Tuesday evening and said it's very difficult to carry a weapon in a waistbag of a gym shorts, which Bailey was wearing. Bam! This is John Burton, ladies and gentlemen, and he said it himself. He said how in the world he carried a weapon in a waistband of a gym shorts. So in other words, he was wearing gym shorts, and you know, when men wearing gym shorts, it was hard enough to put a gun or any weapon on a gym shorts. So it's getting crazier. So he continues to say he appears to be shot in his back as he is running away. So the 2 white police officers shot this young man in the back wearing gym shorts. This is why I said it's important for people to understand. Now, the police said that he had a gun. He was reaching for his gun. Witnesses says that they heard, I'm going to go back. They heard only 7 shots. So in other words, when the guy run away from police, he wasn't even a threat. They shot the man 7 times in the back. So this is even more disturbing, and Burton even said even if he is armed, that's not enough to justify a shooting generally, unless the weapon is being used or threatened to be used, which I don't see on the video. So the surveillance video has shown, ladies and gentlemen, that he was running away from police. He was sitting down, and they shot this man 7 times in the back. And then realized that he was on the ground rolling over, and they tried to revive him. He was already dead. But then they said he got a weapon. And like I told you before, there's no evidence that he had a weapon. And like the guy said, even if he did have a weapon, that's not enough to justify the shooting. He didn't point at officers. So the thing of it is that he doesn't have a weapon on him because he only has gym shorts on him, and it's hard enough to put a gun or any weapon inside the gym shorts. So, and also including the video, they say he is definitely not reaching in his waistband and about to shoot the officers. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, 2 Colorado police officers, Colorado Springs police officers, basically claims that he pointed a weapon at them. But witnesses says, and the guy already said himself, that there's no evidence that he didn't have a weapon. And he instead of charging, he was running away from the officer. So the 2 Colorado police officers who were white opened fire and killed them 7 times. 7 times. Let me go on. Adam Bertokovici, a former 30-year police officer in Los Angeles, disagreed, saying officers could be justified in shooting Bailey even if he didn't have a gun. See, so I'm gonna stop you right there. So let me get this right. Let me get this straight. This officer saying that the officers still could justify shooting this young man even if he's not armed. So it proves time and time again, ladies and gentlemen, that this guy, basically he was unarmed and he ran away from police. So he is not a threat. So obviously, Colorado Springs, Colorado police just shot the man 7 times in the back and thinking that he's not a threat. And then this guy said, well, he still could have been justified. Are you serious? let me go ahead and continue. He said if he had committed an armed crime, even he said if he committed an armed crime, which has evidence that he wasn't committing a crime. But I'm going to continue. If he had committed an armed crime, an officer could be justified in using force and stopping them from escaping into the community. Okay, and I'm going to continue this. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Tennessee versus Gardner in 1985 that an officer can use deadly force to prevent a suspect from escaping only if the officer believes the suspect posed a significant threat of death or severe physical injury to an officer or others. Former police officer John Buzek, who later became a lawyer, said he would want to know the distance between the officer and Bailey and whether the police had other means of force such as a taser. Bailey was shot near Adams Park, which is next to Adams Elementary School. If the officer saw children in the park, said former policeman Berkovici, it could have been affected their decision to shoot. You have to weigh the options, he said. Your area background has to be good. It always has to be good. But hypothetical, I'm going to stop you right there. But what if the kids were there and police officers start shooting and might injure the child? So this story is really crazy, and it proves right then and there that Colorado Springs police is trying to cover this up. And you know, he's unarmed. He's wore gym shorts, which ain't no way in the world that no weapon could even stuck inside the gym shorts. That doesn't make any sense. Because if they, first of all, the gym shorts, it's hard enough to put any weapon inside the gym shorts. Okay, Elizabeth Powell said she saw the patrol car pass by and headed to the park to check on her children who were playing there. She said she saw the officers interrogate Bailey and then shoot him while her children were still in the park. So, ladies and gentlemen, the police doesn't care if the kids were there or not. They know that the kids could be in danger. What if, hypothetically, the bullet hit one of the kids? So it shows that they put the kids in danger as well. If the officer starts shooting in the back, shooting this 19-year-old man in the back, and then what if the bullet hit one of the children? See, this is why I said that this story is crazy, and I wouldn't even be surprised these two officers are placed on administrative leave like the other officers did if they shoot an unarmed black man. But this is crazy. I'm going to continue reading this. It said, Powell said other children were there too. They could have killed my kids. Instead, they killed somebody else's, she said. And that's the end of the article. Ladies and gentlemen, these police officers killed another unarmed black man in cold blood. Shot this young man in the back 7 times. And then police said that he was quote unquote involved in a robbery. And then they said that they saw him with a weapon. And then they said they later recovered a firearm at the scene. However, witnesses says that there's no firearm. He was running away from the police. The officers say they shot him 1 time, but witnesses say they heard 7 shots. In other words, they shot the man 7 times in the back. And then he sent onto the ground, which means he just felt the gunshots. And then all of a sudden, he he rolled on the ground, and police revived him, and he died at the hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another case of another case of police killing unarmed black men in this country. And I told you before that it's never going to stop. And according to the surveillance video, ladies and gentlemen, and I saw the surveillance video, there's no weapon. He didn't point no weapon at the officer. He was running away from the officer. And this 19-year-old Devon Bailey lost his life. He was killed unarmed. So, and what I'm gonna do right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're not gonna see this video because I don't think reaction will show it to you. But what I'm going to do right now is to play the surveillance video, and I'm going to explain to you what happened. And again, I'm going to repeat it, that reaction will not show you guys the video. But, well, they will show you the video, but you basically will not hear the audio of the situation. So what I'm going to do is